Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie.
What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with the BONK MONKE Wukong build. Have you ever wanted a more brain-dead way to play Wukong? Well, you come to the right place. This Wukong build does have a Helminth. I replaced his 4th ability with Gloom. Now, everybody knows what Gloom does by now. If you don't know, it slows down enemies and gives you lifesteal. But we don't really care about the lifesteal, we just care about the slow. With my power strength, I get 69% slow. Nice. Now, how does this Helminth ability fit with Wukong's kit? If we go to Cloudwalker, Cloudwalker will, of course, turn you invisible, have you move fast, and if you pass through enemies, it staggers them, opens them up for finishers. That stagger animation will be prolonged thanks to Gloom, since Gloom slows down every enemy action. People usually use this for the iframes and knockback and damage, and also to give you armor, but that doesn't matter. Enemies that are knocked back will take a longer time to get up thanks to Gloom, because again, all animations are slowed. But what makes this even more busted is his Celestial Twin. I am using the Augment Celestial Stomp. It's basically like a budget Rhino Stomp, but synergizes so well with Gloom. As you stomp, it lifts up enemies, suspends them in air. So that animation of them getting lifted up is slowed down, and them falling down is also slowed down, and then getting back up is also slowed. But of course, by the time they even get to the ground, they'll be dead. This is what makes it so busted. So if you want to turn off enemy AI by completely crowd controlling them, then this is the way to go. And this also works on acolytes, completely halting their animation so you can just do whatever you want with them. The only person you gotta watch out for is Violence, but you can easily just Magus Lockdown and take care of him. Now you may be wondering, why did I replace his Iron Staff? Iron Staff is actually his weakest ability. It has a horrible stance. The stance can actually stagger you and slow down your DPS. It has horrible crits, and it desperately needs Arcane Avenger set up for it to get above 100% crit chance. It does have the Band-Aid Fix augment where it gives you more crits the more you kill enemies, but that again is a Band-Aid augment, and you're wasting a slot just to make his staff useful. And let's not forget, it's primarily impact. All right, let's head over to the Simulacrum and let me show you how this build works as a whole. All right, here we are in the Simulacrum. We'll summon our Celestial Twin. If you hold down the ability, it will do that stomp. So let's activate our Gloom, summon enemies. See, that stagger animation is completely slowed down thanks to Gloom. The knockback, enemies take ages to get back up. The stomp completely destroys their animation because they have to get thrown up into the air and fall down. By the time they even get lifted up, they will be dead. But let's take a look into the Warframe build first. Now, there are 2 loadouts for this build. Well, technically just switch 2 mods around and replace an arcane. That's about it. Now, the first one is your go-to build. Gloom's Drain is affected by duration, hence why we have Prime Continuity here. Our power strength is at 199% with just Blind Rage alone. Range is increased with Augur Reach and Stretch. Augur Reach and Brief Respite allow you to get shields back if they break, so you can refresh your shield gate. Prime Sure-Footed for knockdown and stagger resistance, because you don't want to be knocked back, staggered, which can get you killed and slow down your DPS. Equilibrium and Flow just for the energy income and conversion, since we're going to be running the Panzer Pfeila with the synth set mods. Rolling Guard is here for your survivability, added survivability. You do get some people asking, why would you run Rolling Guard if you have Cloudwalker? Now, there are going to be tons of situations where you're not able to use your abilities. Running out of energy, don't have enough energy. Violence, stopping you from casting your abilities. Want to easily reposition yourself without casting an ability. So Rolling Guard is always going to be there, and it's going to cleanse you of status effect, saving you an extra cast. Celestial Stomp is the augment. This doesn't scale off duration at all. It has its own set duration, but the Stomp does scale off range. Now, for the arcanes, if you're running a melee, you can replace this with Arcane Strike, Primary, Arcane Acceleration, or Arcane Tempo, depending if it's a shotgun or any other rifle. The other loadout I wanted to talk about is the Combat Discipline variant, where you replace the Aura with Combat Discipline and run Arcane Avenger. Since we will have Gloom, it's going to heal us whenever we lose health, and Combat Discipline will deal damage to your health as you kill enemies, which will trigger Arcane Avenger, giving you more crits. And since we don't have other ways to get our shields back, we will have to switch Prime Continuity for Augur Message. I know it won't be enough shields using these two mods, including the Augur mods on our secondary. We'll get just enough, so you'd have to cast 2 abilities to get your max shields, which is just fine, but you'll be getting crits in the process. So it's up to you how you want to use this. Lowering our duration will of course increase the drain on Gloom. All right, taking a look at our KUVA ZARR build. My KUVA ZARR is bonus Toxin, so if you don't have bonus Toxin, you won't be able to run this. Primary Merciless is our base damage mod. This is where all our raw damage comes from. It gives us more ammo reserves and increases our reload speed by just a bit. And since we already have 360% base damage, we don't need to put any base damage mods right here. This arcane itself is like putting Serration and Heavy Caliber and then some all together. Prime Firestorm to increase its AoE explosion. Galvanized Chamber for the multi-shot. Since we're going to be running a viral build, we put a cold mod. We pair that up with Hunter Munitions for those slash procs. Crit chance, crit damage. To multiply our damage against the faction we're up against, we're going to be using a Bane mod. This is going to give you way more damage than running another base damage multiplier mod. Prime Fast Hands to increase our reload speed even more. This again is a flex slot. You can put whatever you want. Reload speed just makes it more convenient and better to use. Vigilante Supplies is going to give us more crits and ammo mutation, so we'll never have ammo issues. For Acolytes, I will be stripping their armor using Vastilok. Just put tons of attack speed, Dispatch Overdrive for utility, and Shattering Impact. Since this shoots out 9 pellets, you're going to be stripping that Acolyte in 2-3 hits. If we were to go a melee route, we can change our melee to anything, and we'll be using Epitaph as a primer. Why Epitaph? For one, it will force proc Cold and Blast. Cold will add on to the slow of Gloom, just making them even slower. Let me show you. There we go. And we just stomp them. There you go. They're completely at a standstill. They're not moving. Look at that. Of course, you can run whatever melee you want to complement your Epitaph. For this loadout, I went with Zeneric, just so we can get more energy on pickup. And what's going to pair really well with our Equilibrium is the Panzer Pfeila. Enemies damaged by the KUVA will have a chance to drop health orbs, and that's going to be very easily done with its viral quills. Whether it's in its larva state or its normal cat state, it's going to spread those spores, and it's going to count as an assist, since Fiber will allow you to pick up health orbs even though you're full HP, and that's when it's going to trigger Equilibrium, converting health to energy or energy to health, vice versa. Panzer Devolution is a must, especially if you don't want it to fully die. Pack Leader and Sharpened Claws can be switched out, but everything else is a must. These are your little 2 flex slots. All right, folks, this is the BONK MONKE build. I do hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. And if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe. For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.